I have a video of Michael Irvin that was shit. Fuck. Damn. Ow. That hurt. Here we go. Damn. Fucking wind. Ow.
Well, good Super Bowl morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business and let's wake up the football gods. You know, it sucks. It sucks that here we go. It's Super Bowl Sunday, another year that we're not there as we pick up the pieces. You know, it's funny because in talking to you guys, I love doing live streams, especially the call-in shows. Yesterday, I can't remember who it was, but they said, you know, back in the 90s and, you know, when they were growing up, you know, we were spoiled because we had those 3 Super Bowls in those 4 years. And you just thought that that's how it was going to be every single year. And if we had known that it was going to be like that we probably would have treated it a lot different than we do now. So the question is, as we sit here in the same spot that we are every single year, can we take Jerry Jones at his word that things are going to be different? Do we buy into that? Do we actually believe it? You know, he said we're going to make a big splash at signing the head coach. Here's the thing that's kind of funny. We can't even make a ripple right now because we don't actually have the deal done. There apparently is a little bit of a snag in the negotiations that they're trying to work through. Little birdie told me this. It's basically contract and numbers and so forth about it. And I hope that the Cowboys and Catboy don't mess it up. That they don't mess it up. Because we know how Catboy is. You'll remember a couple years ago with DeMarcus Lawrence.
We them boys. Remember that. We them boys. Remember.
When they had a cap number of about $27 million, Catboy went to him and said, how about we give you a fully guaranteed $10 million contract for 1 year and we'll call it even. And he literally said, F you, release me. In which case, Stephen Jones went back to his dad, and his dad had to fix the situation. You'll remember with Randy Gregory how that situation, whether you believed in him or not, how he went out, got a contract offer for somebody else, and then it's like, okay, yeah, you got that contract. We're going to put a couple of other things in here so that way we're getting the better deal. And that's not how you work. Typically, if somebody comes back to you with another contract, you got to sweeten it a little bit more to get it done. And of course, then there's the Dak Prescott situation where at the last hour, they were trying to sign him to a contract and stuff, trying to slip stuff in there, and they messed around and effed up and ended up having to do the franchise tag. See, the Cowboys' problems, money is the key to end of your woes, your ups, your downs, your highs, and your lows. That's the bottom line. And the bottom line is what's been messing up the Cowboys. And always thinking that we got to get a better deal. And when you get that better deal, it seems like what happens is you lose money. You lose in the long run. Waiting on Dak Prescott's contract costs you more. Waiting right now, it's cost you more. Waiting on Zeke and letting him go to Cabo and you realizing that Tony Pollard's not going to be enough for you to do for your season costs you more money. You overpaid. That's the Cowboys narrative. And this is where people are constantly saying, you know, trade Dak, trade Micah, trade Ceedee. Sorry, broadcast media in full effect. We're the cameraman too. All of these things happen and they cost us money. And then instead of saying, well, you know, Dak Prescott, he's $59 million, you're paying him too much. Instead of actually going to the root and saying, Jerry Jones, you paid too much for Zeke. You paid too much for Michael Gallup. You paid too much for Terrence Steele coming back in injury. You paid too much for Jalen Smith. We only look at Dak. And see, this is where we have to fix things. But if we take it on face value, if in fact we say or we believe that Jerry Jones is actually going all in, we're not worried about the cap and everything else, then the thing that has to happen is you need to get Dak Prescott's deal done. I believe today is the 11th of February. I know this is Super Bowl Sunday. The NFL season ends. But do you realize that the new league year starts on the 13th? That legal tampering starts on the 11th, 1 month from today. And by the way, this month is 2 days shorter. The team has to be under the cap by the 13th of March, and they're $19 million over. And we're still sitting here with 16 free agents. We got guys like Stephon Gilmore say they'd like to come back. Only way they come back is you get a deal done, and you got to get some money to do that. You've got others, mainly the core of your defense, your number 2 pass rusher, Dorrance Armstrong, your number 3, Dante Fowler, Neville Gallimore, one of your defensive linemen. You've got pieces that you're going to lose, Jordan Lewis, if you don't do something about it. And we're sitting here at Super Bowl Sunday, and we don't have a defensive coordinator because the Cowboys are penny pinching and so on. While other teams are getting all their staff together, we're going to be left with the toaster leavings. But Jerry Jones says we're going to make a splash at defensive coordinator. And we're going to go all in. So if we're going all in, here's an interesting piece. And as I sit here and I look, okay, you guys see, me, and you see this monitor and everything else. In front of me, this is my studio I've built for over the years. I have actually 4 monitors that are in front of me. One, which is this one right here, and then there's another one that has my streaming software, and then I have 2 other ones so that way I can, pop something in or, put a screen up in there so we have our Philly 500 meltdown cam. But I'm sitting here looking at this moment, and I'm trying to understand what Adams is wearing. It looks like she's got the black top. It looks like black pants. And then it looks like she's got a pair of jeans on. There's the belt. Hold on, let me change camera. There's the belt. So it's like they're just hanging off. Did anybody else see that? So she has a pair of jeans that look tiny. They look really, really short. That's a new look. Anyway, let's listen, because if we are going all in, there's rumors of guys like Stefon Diggs, who the Bills may move on from, because the Bills realize, and this is what kind of kills me, because, as I'm looking through at all the Super Bowl coverage, I see Josh Allen, 42 total TDs, but I don't see anything about the 22 turnovers. 22 turnovers. Last year, whenever you saw a picture of Dak Prescott led the league in turnovers. 22. We're just going to ignore that? The Buffalo Bills turned their season around when they realized we can't just put it all on the back of Josh Allen, and they became more run-centric. Not mad about that. Realize they're actually doing what you have to do. Cowboys figure we can just pass all of our problems away. But be that as it may, Stefon Diggs does seem to be on the verge of being traded by the Buffalo Bills. And let's listen to what he had to say. I'm still mystified by these. They look like kids, like babies' pants.
Before we got on the interview, I'm taking my time.
Yeah, I've been taking my time.
What does that mean?
For me, it's just living in each moment, being where my feet are.
That's hard.
I feel like it is. And even just throughout the season, when you put in a lot of time, and I try to tell people all the time, I invest a lot of time in my craft. People watch me, people see what I do, but I really love this game and I give it everything I got. When it doesn't go my way, of course, I'm not going to be happy. But at the end of the day, I am who I am. I'm going to be who I am. I can't switch it up. I work hard. I grind. I love this game.
Yeah.
And I'm just I'm taking my time. You know what I'm saying? Where I am right now, I'm taking my time. We don't know what the future looks like.
Yeah, and part of the reason I want you to get the ball more is because in big moments you shine. Mini miracle, like in those big playoff situations. I'd like to see you on a team that's in the Super Bowl at some point.
Too.
What does it feel like to hear your name involved in so many trades? If I look at my phone, you're going to the Colts, Stephon, you're going to Chicago, you're going to Tennessee, you're going everywhere.
I feel like for me, when I hear it, I take it with a grain of salt. We don't know what the future holds.
Yeah.
I really can't tell you what's going to happen or what's not going to happen. But I will say, however it goes, I've seen a video of this. I forgot who it was. However it goes, we're prepared. And I can tell you that I'm prepared. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm a professional. I handle things like a true pro's pro, no matter what they say.
Yeah. Why do people have anything to say?
I don't know. Just for me, I guess I'm an easy target. I'm not gonna sound flashy, but I am into fashion.
Yeah.
I am gonna say I'm not necessarily outspoken, but when you speak to me, I speak eloquently. I know how to get my point across, you know what I'm saying? I know how to express myself, and I know how to get us all on the same page. So for me, I feel like being verbal sometimes hurts you. And when I don't say nothing at all, I think it bothers a lot of people.
I think it bothers a lot of people. So here's my question here as we sit here this morning. We can go ahead and we can look. The Cowboys have had an interesting past when they have traded for receivers. Joey Galloway, who was with the Seattle Seahawks, they traded 2 number ones to get him there. They thought he was going to be the lights-out wide receiver. Unfortunately, he screwed his knee up in training camp and was never the same. Complete waste. The technology has gotten so much better on dealing with knees, even since, the last 15, 20 years. It's incredible. When I tore my ACL in high school, they were just beginning to use the scope. Had it been a year before, my knee would have been cut wide open. But they weren't at the process of yet being able to replace an ACL. So they just went in, 3 little incisions, cleaned it up, and was playing football a few weeks later without an ACL. I know people think I'm lying and I'm crazy and all that, but you can talk to anybody that I went to high school with. They remember when I tore it. But be that as it may, then we traded for Roy Williams from the Lions. We gave up number 1 and like a second, a third, or something like that for him. And he never really panned out in the system. Then, of course, the one that did work until it didn't was Amari Cooper. We were 3-5 going into that season. We didn't really have any targets that were there. And we got Amari Cooper. And having Amari Cooper instantly changed that team where we won the division. No team had started out 3-5 and won their division. Just hadn't. But that was the difference maker for the Cowboys. Now, we got Ceedee Lamb. Ceedee Lamb, who yesterday or last couple of days on Bleacher Report with Micah Parsons, vowing that he wants the bag. He wants to be the number 1 paid or one of the highest paid. He wants to be the guy, but recognizing that, A, mama doesn't speak for me. I'm a grown-ass man. 2, I love Dak Prescott. 3, I have some growing up, maturing, and leadership that needs to develop. He didn't say the word leadership, but he put the way he pointed it out. I need to be better that when, I have some drops and things that I'm not pouting or that times recognizing when they're double cover me that you got to go, Dak, you got to go to Brandon Cooks or Dak, what's up? Give me the ball. And the question you have to ask is putting a Stefon Diggs, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you money. It's going to cost you draft picks. But maybe the thing with CD has always been an incredible receiver. The question you have to ask is, do you bring in a Stefon Diggs, a guy who's got a bit of an edge and an attitude, sometimes not the right kind of attitude, but you can't look at him and say he's not all about winning. He wants to win, and that's why he goes off. Would it be advantageous to have a Stephon Diggs with a Ceedee Lamb, or are we just opening it up to too many head cases? That's the question you have to ask, because it's great as Stefon Diggs is. He's actually not enough for them. They actually could use another lights-out receiver mixing in with the running game. And we always think that if you just have a quarterback, you're going to go to the Super Bowl, but that's not the case. Pat Mahomes has proved that. their offense is kind of taking some steps back, losing guys over the years like, Kareem Hunt, and losing guys like Tyreek Hill and things like that. They've relied on their defense more this year, and their defense being the reason that they're there. Without that defense against Baltimore, they're not in the Super Bowl this year, flat out. So we have to look at this situation here. What is all in? Is all in going out and saying, we're going to get another weapon to go for Dak to pass to, and then we'll deal with later too, running back? Are we going to go through and say we're going to be a juggernaut that we can go ahead and be like Transformers? If you're great at stopping the run, we got the receivers that can go deep. If you're great at coverage, that we got the running back that we can run the football. Or when we get a lead, we can play keep away. Because ultimately, that's what all in is. Now, we'll see what happens. I know that this is literally the Super Bowl Sunday. But really, everything is just beginning. Once we get Mike Zimmer, we got to figure out who else is going to be here with him and what defense are we going to do. Are we going to try and hold on to our players that we believe in? Or are we going to go out here and try and get some studs? I wish I had the answers. I wish I could go in time forward here and see what's going to happen, but we're just going to have to live it day by day. So stay tuned. We'll be here live streaming. We'll be having a Super Bowl party here today. My man David Wiley's going to be here. DMV should be here. I think E2 Blue's going to be here. My friend Allie, the Eagle fan, who's sitting their ass on the couch too, she's even here today along with some other people. So stay tuned. We'll watch the game, and we'll hope that the San Francisco 49ers get mollywopped. I'm Mark Holmes, and I'll see you soon.
Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report.